All right, so Patrick, I appreciate you meeting me again.
Again.
This is only the second time that this has happened. We got great video last time, but we were both muted, so we had no audio.
Which is fine.
Which is kind of frustrating because it was a really good conversation. So I'm hoping that we can maybe touch on some of those same things, but I'll let you introduce yourself.
All right, my name's Patrick. I'm a recovering addict and alcoholic. Truly grateful. 58 years old, and I finally got it right. Or I think I got it right. Let me rephrase that.
Right.
I'm working on a program.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it's all about. Trying to change a negative to a positive, and going forward. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so that's what I guess that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, is to talk to you about that.
So you've been at Onyx House for the past 6 months. Prior to that, you were incarcerated for a pretty significant amount of time.
Yes, I just got done doing 10, and I got out August. So I've been, a little over 6 months. So it worked out pretty good. But yeah, I just got done doing a substantial amount of time.
Yeah.
It sucked, but at the same time, I learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say I'm grateful, that's what I mean about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
As mad as I was in the resentments that I had towards the judge at the time, or the people in my cases and stuff like that there, I end up being grateful for it because it's changed my whole thought process.
Right.
It's put me where I'm at today, put it that way. I changed my core belief thinking, I changed my biases. I went from hating or not caring to caring. You know, everything about me is different. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't have that bitterness at the back. You know how you get that bitterness in the back of your, on your palate. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
You know, and for two reasons. One, I made a decision to change my life. You know, and then step 3 is vital to my program. You know. That's also made a decision to turn my will and my life over to care of God as I understand them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so those are the two elements right there. But I want to be better.
Right. So I want to get to the good stuff, which is the recovery piece. Yeah. But can you talk a little bit about your childhood and kind of, how that's maybe impacted the rest of your childhood, maybe early adulthood?
Yeah, I grew up a typical country boy out in northwestern Wisconsin. I'm from Polk County.
Polk County, okay.
Yeah, yep. I'm a Unity boy But my dad was an alcoholic. My mom was a pacifist, if that's what you want to call her. She read books, so she didn't. A nice lady, don't get me wrong. She was a loving mother. Stood up for us when it was necessary. But my childhood wasn't easy. You know, we lived back. So I grew up through the '70s. You know, in that era. Yeah. You know, my dad worked hard and played hard. You know, but I never went without.
Yeah.
You know, there was always food on the table. You know, we always had toys and stuff like that there, you know, because my dad was a hard worker and he did make money, you know, but he also drank hard, you know, and I think that's what a lot of my character defects came from, was learning, you know, you learn by watching.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
As children, we know how children are, man, they're observant, and we observe and how we follow what our parents do. Right. You know, we mimic that.
Yep.
You know, so I mimic my dad. I learned a lot of good things from him, and I learned a lot of bad things. Mm-hmm. So that wasn't so bad, but I started drinking at a young age. I started smoking at a young age. I started getting high at a young age.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, that was before I was 10. I started smoking pot, smoking Camel cigarettes straight from my aunt's ashtray. You know, because of my cousins, you know. I mean, that's, you know, it's just, you know, you do that to fit in, and I fit it. I followed suit.
Yeah.
You know, and you think it was cool at the time, and hence, you know, 40 years later, I said, well, that's not cool.
Right, right.
You know, but I don't smoke no more, so I gave up that habit too.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but high school was fine. I didn't graduate. I got kicked out. I quit. You know, over some accusation that I was pretty salty about, that it wasn't true, but. You know, being a teenager and, you know, you think you know it all, it don't work. It don't work,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, but I did get my GED,
Okay.
you know. I did stuff like that there, but I had a criminal mindset, you know, and that's learned behavior again because watching what, you know, your parents do,
Mm.
you know, and it's just nothing major, it's just that I didn't care, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and learning that not caring, you know, affected my life
Yeah.
for 46 years.
Right.
You know, the only time I started caring is when I got married, you know, but other than that, I really didn't care because I just did me.
Yeah.
I was selfish, you know. So I did what I wanted to do. And hence, you know, in and out of prison since about 85, you know, so we talked about this before, you know, I got probably over 25 years inside, in and out,
Yeah.
you know, and that's, you know, between here and Minnesota. You know, I went from simple paper crimes, you know, petty theft, to all the way up to armed robberies and strong armed robberies of, you know, some stuff that I'm not too proud of, you know, but
You said you're 58, so you've essentially spent almost half your adult life.
yeah, half my adult life in there. Yeah, I started when I was about 19 and went from there, you know, and I was in and out. You know, the first time was 2 years, second time 3 years, you know, or 5-year sentence. Then Minnesota got me, and I got laid down for a 10-piece over there and did 7. And then Wisconsin really, you know, I was out for 12 years,
Okay.
you know, but I was still in active addiction,
Right.
still using. I'm a meth addict and an alcoholic, you know, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't like saying that because that's a cliche statement,
Yeah.
you know, but it is, you know, that's what happens, you know, when, you know, you're, you know, an addict.
Yeah.
You know, you learn to succumb to different, you know, whatever, what's out there,
Yeah.
you know, and that's what I enjoyed. And she's retired now, but the judge, Molly Gail Wyrick, out of Polk County, man, sentenced me to 26 years.
Yeah.
And I was looking at 4 to 5 or 5 to 6 years. I thought, you know, set 2, you know, 3 years, maybe 4 years.
Right.
And she said 26 years, 14 and a half in, and I was dumbfounded,
Yeah.
you know, because I wasn't expecting it, didn't see it coming. I was blindsided, you know, and I didn't know how to act. It was the
Right.
first time in my life I was scared,
Yeah.
you know, because I've done time. Time's never bothered me, you know, but that significant amount of time because I started to learn how to care.
Right.
You know, because I'd already just completed the Salvation Army program. So I did that over there in Minneapolis, and that was a good program. So I started learning my faith more and trusting in it and
Yeah.
believing in it. You know, so I was trying to do good. Excuse me. But at the same time, my addiction, you know, succumbed to me. You know, or overcame me, I guess you want. So I ended up getting a dirty UA and pissing off the judge. But I was broken. That was the first time as a grown man, July 8th, that I cried. I mean, that I really cried. You know, and I didn't know if it was fear, anger, shame, just disappointment, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, in myself, in my, you know, disappointed because I disappointed my family. So there was a lot, you know,
Yeah.
that built up to that. You know, and I think it was the first time I was literally broken, that I, you know, broke.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean your spirit broke. You know, it's like, you know, it's like I never felt like that before. I never had that fear of, you know, of overwhelmingness.
Yeah.
You know, and so I made a decision. You know, I would always, excuse me, dang. I've always wanted to be somebody better, like take this message and teach kids and whatnot. You know, I learned it at a young age.
Yeah.
You know, I did some foster homes back in the day when I was a teenager. And one of the foster homes was a Christian foster home, and we went to boys camps,
Sure.
boys, you know, places, whatever like that. There, and it was really cool. And I'd always talk about my transformation, but I don't know if I would really transform them, you know, because I went back out to criminal activity, you know, like the prodigal son.
Right.
You know, that's what it was. So I think maybe then I did know Christ, you know, accepted him as my life back then, but I went and did what I wanted to do, like the prodigal son, and hence here I am back home.
Yeah.
You know, and I am back home, you know, with Christ. You know, full-fledged. You know, we'll talk about it later, but loud and proud.
Yeah.
You know, in my recovery, and I wish I had my hoodie. I got my hoodie on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a hoodie that says loud and proud on it. But that's not arrogant, loud and proud. But you know, my recovery, I want people to know who I am.
Right.
I'm not ashamed of it no more. You know.
Yeah.
We talked about last time about breaking that stigma.
Yep.
You know, was it Voices of Recovery?
Yep.
You know, they have that T-shirt that says that, you know, break the stigma. You know, so, but, you know, so when the judge sentenced me, I went to prison, and I made a decision, and we talk about that I turned my will over, and it says, not my will, but your will be done. And I've been doing that ever since.
Mm-hmm.
I read books. I read books. I reread books. I got some books that I've read 3 times. You know, because my learning process sometimes is slow. You know, but the book was so good that I wanted to reread it again. You know, it's like reading the Bible. You always go back because there's always new nuggets.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, so that's what I did with these books, and I don't know. I just kept doing them. Taking classes, you know, learn about, you know, being a leader.
Yeah.
Learn how to communicate. Understanding what empathy meant, to know what the other person is feeling and recognize the body languages, and you know, hearing the tone of voice. Those stuff matter to me, you know, and so I wanted to learn.
Sounds like you really took that time and utilized that time and dug in and took advantage of the things that were available to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bible studies, church, mentorship, you know, and stuff like that, you know, and I end up turning around and being mentoring other people while I was in prison. You know, it was just, you know, I learned. We talk about life recovery, and that was one of the things I learned in there. I built my relationship on my faith first. Mm-hmm. So the first 5 years, that's what I did. I just studied God's word and read books that would open up my mindset to be somebody better.
Yeah.
You know, but after about halfway through my prison sentence, I started doing the AA and the NA, and because I told myself, if I want to succeed, because my failure was last time, when I relapsed, I didn't do programs. I didn't do AA or NA. I didn't get a sponsor. I didn't do none of that stuff. I was always self-willed, and that was my downfall. Mm-hmm. So I started doing AA in prison. Started learning to chair, understanding the steps, and then I took the 12-step program and the Life Recovery Bible, and I really immersed myself in to apply that to my life.
Can you talk a little bit about the Life Recovery Bible and kind of what?
Life Recovery is a Bible. It's literally called Life Recovery, but it's got the 12 steps in it, and it talks about scripture that goes along with 12 steps. And I'll use one example. Step 7 is it talks about shortcomings, right?
Yeah.
Ask Him to remove our shortcomings. So in step 7, one of the things is we talked about the last time, Jeremiah 18, 1-6 talks about the potter's shed. And in the potter's shed, God talks about, ask Jeremiah to go down the potter's shed. And so he goes down there and watches the potter man working on a clay vessel. In the process, the potter breaks down the clay vessel, reshapes it back up. And then God asks Jeremiah, he says, man, you know, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are you in mine. So if we look at step 7, ask Him to remove our shortcomings.
Yep.
So in reality, we're pliable.
Yep.
You know, we can be, you know, old dogs be taught new tricks.
Right.
Well, and, you know, I'm an old dog, but I got that concept of being the clay, you know, and having God retransform me. So I really surrendered to that.
Right.
You know, so it stood out to me. And that was just one of the ones that is really simple in there. I mean, it makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. But for me, you know, a lot of people that I have a life recovery study on Saturday at 7 at Living Word Chapel.
Yep.
But people get it because it speaks to the addict.
Right.
I think it really does. You know, and the notes that go along with it, you know, and the steps, is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, but it works. I mean, at least it works for me. But what works for me might not work for another person.
Right. Right.
You know, but then again, there are those ones that too that I get that.
Yeah.
And I've been finding out that the people that we sit down and we have in our format is nothing official. There's no structure.
Yeah.
I mean, we started out with a little bit of structure, but we sit down, we have a round table conversation.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you and I talking, you know, and we talk about it and people go around and there's double dipping, you know, stuff like that there. Because for me, if we're in a circle in AA, and it's frustrating sometimes because you speak what you want to talk about, and then the next guy goes around next time, and then that guy over there will say something, that lady will say something, so man, that
really resonated with me, and you kind of want to
I want to follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can, you know, and it's hard to, you know, but you can after group, you know.
Yeah.
But with the life recovery, we communicate like that.
Sure.
You know, and we have such good conversations, man, and I never walk away disappointed.
Yeah.
You always walk away that you felt like you learned something, and to me that matters.
Yeah.
You know, learning.
So it sounds like it's more of a conversation, and
it's a study. We talk about steps.
Yeah.
You know, we do the steps. You know, but Scripture's involved in it.
Yeah.
You know, so but it's really super cool. It's one of the things that I really enjoy doing.
When you talk about being malleable, like, you know, the clay, when you got out of prison, you had mentioned last time that we spoke that you had to make a decision, or you made a decision to go to Onyx House.
Yep.
And that was maybe not something that you would have probably done in the past.
No, I have a friend. I hate to say that he's in jail, but he is the one that made a decision. I was communicating with him when I was in treatment.
Yeah.
And he says, look, come to the Onyx House. He said, don't go home, because he knew I was struggling with some relationship issues with my wife. He said, don't go home. Come here, get your feet, you know, get anchored in where you need to do.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for it, because I've been here going on 7 months now.
Yeah.
You know, and I like it here. Full-time job, you know, doing things, setting goals, accomplishing goals. You know, heck, you know, we talk about, you know, making a decision and doing the right thing.
Right.
2 months out of prison, I bought a Harley.
Yeah, that was like on your 6-month goal,
yeah,
right?
that was my springtime goal, and I got it 2 months in.
Yeah.
You know, or 2 months out, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Today'd be a nice day out riding right now.
Yeah,
you know,
no kidding.
You know, but those are things that, you know, that make you want to do better, because if I was in an active addiction, I don't think I'd be able to do it.
Right.
Because all my money would go to drugs or to hustle, or you know stuff. We worry so much about getting high that we forget about, you know, meaningful possessions, if you want to call them.
Yeah, yeah. And you appreciate them more too, because when you're getting high, easy come, easy go. You don't care. I mean, you lose stuff just as quick as you get it.
Yeah. And I'm grateful for that. But, you know, I got a driver's license, you know, I got a vehicle, you know. I got to do an interlock, but that's part of my consequences from drunk driving in 2011.
Yeah.
You know, but so be it.
But you're in a position where you can do that.
Yeah, I can do that. I can go to meetings, I can do service work, I can pick up people, you know, and take them to, you know, another AA meeting, or, you know, or any meeting, in which it's fun.
Yeah.
You know, and you feel accomplished.
Yeah.
You know, and that's that pat on the back, you know, not that arrogant pat on the back, but that, you know, look, you're doing what you need to do.
Right.
You know, and, you know, and be proud of yourself, you know, because a lot of times we don't, I don't know how to say it without, try to be humble about things, you know, without trying to be, you know, stupid about it, I guess, you know, is the key word of it. But we need to acknowledge, you know, things that we're doing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people won't acknowledge that, you know, because in our active addictions, you don't feel worthy.
Right.
You know, we feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, but thanks to God and a higher power and a program, you know, and I know that you know this now, that we are worthy. Yeah. We're more than a tattoo and a number. We're more than just, you know, an addict, you know, whatnot like that there. You know, we are somebody. You know, I know I'm a child of God. I know, I assume you are. Mm-hmm. You know, so that matters. You know, if we can get that thought process going, you know, and it's thinking, you know.
What would you say to somebody who maybe struggles with the concept of God or higher power?
Find your higher power.
Yeah.
because eventually I think you will succumb to what truth is.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you about me, you know, what works for me, but you have to find your place.
Yep.
And that's the biggest. People don't get caught up in religion, because religion is I'm not religious. I'm far from it. It's spirituality and understanding the presence of your creator or your higher power in your life.
Yeah.
And that's the bigger aspect of it, because if you stop and if you really look at your life, you'll see him. You'll see it in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care. You'll really actually see God in your life throughout, since you're little up until now. I have, you know, but it's taken, you know, being blind to it with blinders on it, and that's, for me, I think Satan's biggest tool is to keep us blinded, you know, because then we don't see truth.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the bigger element right there. If you can, you know, take them blinders off and see truth, man, it's amazing. You know, I think it is. I know it is for me. You know, but you know, focus on. For me, you talk about, you know, what was the choice is another thing.
Yeah.
You know, you have to make a decision. You know, Deuteronomy talks about, you know, blessings and curses, life and death. You know, I was in darkness for so long that I'd never seen truth. I'd never seen, you know, life, you know, because I didn't understand what life was.
Yeah.
You know, I thought life was partying, chasing women, you know, getting in trouble, fights, you know, whatever like that there. And that ain't life, you know, that's destruction and chaos. So I made a decision, and I choose life.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where I'm at today. I try to tell everybody, you know, it comes down to what do you want? You know, and it's hard. Addiction's a bitch. You know, excuse my French, but it is. It controls us so bad.
Yeah.
You know, but if you can really dig deep and find that desire and that passion that you have, and pull on that strength, you can find it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think, you know, making those good decisions, right? Like when you get out of prison, not going home. You know,
No.
those little things that we do differently outside of our normal, you know. For me, I know first thought is usually fucked up, you know, and I know that it's not probably the best decision, but what would you say to people that are maybe looking at the prospect of going to like a sober living or something? What benefit would they have by going somewhere like that?
When you're sober.
Right. yeah.
When you're sober. It's got. I'll speak for the Onyx House. That's what I got.
Repping the shirt.
Repping the shirt.
Julia will love that.
Yeah. Look, there's accountability there. That's the biggest thing right there, accountability.
Yeah.
But you're responsible for your program. She's not. Onyx House is not. She puts it in your lap, in your hands, so it's your responsibility. And I think that's what's nice about it, because it comes better from doing it yourself than being forced to do it, you know?
Right.
I mean, some people are here because, you know, courts put them in there or stuff like that.
Sure.
I came voluntarily, but I also came out with the mindset to want to do better.
You're right.
Yeah,
right.
so, but that works for me. But there's accountability. For me at the Onyx House, you know, they want you to get a job. They want you to attend meetings, you know, and, you know, they want you to be a leader, you know. So this program sets you up to be a leader. You know, just, you know, you represent recovery. If you find your faith, you know, then you represent faith. You know, and that's the things I talk about, being loud and proud. You know, that what we stand for, or I stand for. And there's if you look around town here, there's a few of us that got these shirts or these hoodies that are loud and proud on the sleeves, which are pretty cool. But it's just telling people, man, look, we're in recovery and we're proud of it. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not ashamed of it. We talk about breaking the stigma, you know, breaking that chain of, you know, how society looks at recovery. And it's amazing, man, how a lot of people look at it. It's like, that's cool, respect, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah. Before, it's like, oh, you're one of those guys, or you're going, No, it's not about that no more, man. People respect you that you're in recovery because they know with the addiction problem, meth and fentanyl, what's going on right now, everybody wants to see people get clean. Yeah. You know, because it's killing people, you know, and that's the sad part of it. Yeah. You know, it's killing people. You know, but it's, you know, it comes down to it, man. Work a program and be honest be honest with yourself. You know, don't manipulate yourself because we lie to ourselves. You know, and that's Satan's tool. But you have to be honest with yourself. You know, and if you struggle, reach out. You know, ask for help. You know, and I know we get prideful and you know we're ashamed. Shame holds us back. You know, but if you ask for help, man, there are open arms out here in this community. It's unbelievable. You know, I know I found it. You know, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
pretty amazing. What would you say is your proudest moment in recovery so far? And actually, you had mentioned something last time, and it kind of stuck with me about.
My relationship with my daughter. Yeah, that's the most important thing for me, I think. I got a stepdaughter that's cool, and I was put in a position to be a father, you know, and bless her dad, you know, he's passed away, but our relationship, man, is unbelievable, and I got a grandson because of it, you know, but I mean, yeah, that relationship with my daughter, man, is one of the proudest things right now, you know, because that matters. You know, she has a dad in her life. I mean, you know, her grandson, my grandson's got a grandpa. You know, so that you know I get to go play with him and hang out with him.
Yeah.
You know, take him. You know, I go kidnap him, take him to Dairy Queen, man, or take him down. We went tubing at Trollhagen here a while back when they had that.
That recovery,
Yeah, we support recovery. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You know, things like that. There, I mean, that I think about taking them bowling here coming out on
Saturday.
On the 23rd. Yeah, I think about doing that. You know, because why not?
Yeah.
You know, because I can't. And here's the thing, I get to be sober because I choose to, not because I have to be, or because I'm forced to be by courts or probation, stuff like that. Look, I got 11 years paper, and I don't care. I'm not afraid of it no more.
Yeah.
You know, because I get to be sober.
Yeah.
I get to go to meetings. Look at that little hot rod right there. Look at that sweet old boy. There you go. Sorry guys, distraction.
A lot of there's planes going by, there's motorcycles, hot rods.
Yeah, it's cool. Nice day outside in the backyard.
Yeah.
But recovery is important. I don't think, for me, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have this conversation if I wasn't in recovery. You know, I couldn't. Our duty is the 12 steps now, and when we get the 12 step is to take this message and pass it on to others.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Pastor Sean Higgins, shout out. Saturday or Sunday talked about weird light, you know, like what Matthew says in the light on the mountaintop. For those guys that are in darkness, you know, it's people like us that they see us. You know, even though they're struggling in darkness, they see us. You know, so that spark is lit. You know, so they know who they can reach out to. You know, and
Absolutely.
You know, and I've noticed this. A lot of people watch us. You know, people that are in active addiction, they watch us. You know, and especially ones that are coming in the program that are struggling. You know, so it's nice, and I'm grateful where my higher powers enable me to be that person.
Yeah.
You know, that people will come out and say, hey, how do you do what you do? You've been out, you did 10 years, how do you do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it's cool to be able to tell them because I changed everything about me.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be mean, ugly, you know, disrespectful and hateful, and I'm not that person anymore. You know. So when I explain myself to people like that, it's like, you know, and a lot of people that know me, it's like, I can't believe you're the same person.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, how do you do it? Surrender. You know, trust my higher power. Trust the process.
Yeah.
You know, and you know how you used to want it like this here? I want what they have.
Yeah.
But you got to work to get there.
Yeah.
You know, you got to work to get there. And I like that. I hated it, but I liked it.
You like it now?
Well, yeah, because, you know, and you know, my 10 years, man, went fast. You know, you look at 10 years like, damn, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And it is a long time. But if you trust God like I do, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It was quick. You know, it don't make sense to a lot of people, man, but you know, I know I sat that time, but I didn't pay attention to it.
Yeah, and you had mentioned last time we met that you did that whole stint, you were sober the whole time.
Yeah.
So you're coming up on how many years?
11 years and 2 days.
And despite what some people might think, it's very easy to get drugs in prison. So
You can get drugs.
that
make
time
hooch.
counts.
Yeah, that time counts. You can make homemade hooch, whatever like
Yeah.
that. There. And it only takes like 5 days to make hooch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, so, but I made a conscious decision. I wasn't gonna.
You made that decision when you went into it.
Yeah,
That was
I was
that
done.
was it for you.
Yeah, because my relapse, man, got me all that time.
Yeah.
You know, it's nobody. I can't blame nobody else. I can't blame the cops, the judge, you know, the person that told on me or whatever. I made a conscious decision to get high on my wedding anniversary, and
Yeah.
you know, 3 days later they arrest me and I got a dirty UA. So when I went to jail on the 14th was the last time I got high. You know, and that's coming up on 11 years.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's for like you were saying, I mean, the whole point of this is, you know, to bring awareness and show people that it is possible and to share, you know, experience, strength, and hope, right? And I think, you know, I appreciate your willingness to share all of that.
No, I'll do some shout outs here, man. There's Got Your Six out of Osseo OCC Church on Monday nights. Check it out. It's an awesome group.
Yeah.
They're good people, good conversation. There's other people, you know, we're loud and proud up here in New Richmond.
Yeah.
Life Recovery on Saturday nights. You know, if you ever get an opportunity, man, talk to Julie. There's some really good programs through the Onyx House and through her organization. This is what we do, you know, and if we can help others, then so be it. That's our God's gift to this world now. You make a decision, you get to go help other people, you know, find that light, you know, find that peace. Look, it's inner peace. And I know you found it, that inner, there's no turmoil no more. You know,
Yeah.
that worry, stress, anxiety. I mean, it's, you know, a little bit, but that calmness is there. And
Yeah.
it's amazing, you know.
And if you're struggling, reach out, right?
Yeah, say hi, you know,
Yeah.
do what you got to do, you know. I'm not going to say the name of it, but we have a club here in town that, you know, that you can find.
Google it.
Yeah, Google it. You know. Anything AA here in New Richmond, Google it. You know, I can't give a shout out to that. They don't like that. But it's anonymity, and which is cool, you know. But we're here, you know, and just do what you got to do. You know, if you're struggling, you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
Just know that there is hope. You know, we support that. You know, hope for the hopeless. You know, so don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.